So I picked up this one-man logging saw that I've been eyeing at a local antique store for about a year now. It felt like such a deal at $95, but it definitely needed some work. The blade was slightly bent, the handle was definitely less than snug, there was plenty of surface rust to knock off, and the teeth weren't set, causing the saw to bind in the wood, as you can see here. The next step on the road to restoration for this saw was to remove the handle and soak the blade in a vinegar bath for several days and scrub all the rust off with a steel brush. It took me 3 sessions of soaking and scrubbing to get this thing fully derusted, but it was so worth it. Next up was to make the handle. I decided to go with hickory because it is a hardwood that's still flexible, so it absorbs shock well. This particular piece I harvested in 2021, so it's been air drying for almost exactly 4 years now. To secure the handle in the saw, I simply rip cut the bottom, shaped a wedge from some red oak, hammered it into place, and locked it in with some wood glue. After a nice tung oil finish was applied to the handle, she was ready for a field test. I very quickly began to realize that I had not bent the ends of the teeth enough to keep the saw from binding in the wood. Fortunately, this turned out to be a relatively easy fix because all I had to do was heat up the end of each tooth with a blowtorch and hit it with a hammer until it bent to the desired angle so as to create a saw that does not bind in the wood. The way this works I find to be just absolutely fascinating, simple, genius. One end of a saw tooth is slightly bent to the left, the next one slightly bent to the right, the next one to the left, and so on and so forth. What this does is as those teeth are being dragged or pushed through the material that you are cutting, is the teeth are creating a slightly larger gap in that material than the thickness of the saw blade itself. This ensures that the saw blade can pass freely through the material that it's cutting and not bind up, as you can see here. Restoring this handsaw was an absolute joy. I love using this thing already. It really reinvigorated my love for not only using hand tools, but restoring them as well. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I love to just buy a tool right off the shelf or offline and get right to using it, but there's something about the learning opportunities and the experience that comes when you have to knock the rust off something, reshape the teeth, reshape the blade, you have to sharpen each and every single individual tooth, you have to offset them slightly. That really teaches and ingrains why this thing was designed this way in the first place. Thank you so much for watching this informative video. I hope you learned something and enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you like this type of content, and look forward to more informational videos on woodworking and homesteading in the future.